What's up, Internet? It's the Critical Drinker here. I'm just getting ready to fly home to Scotland, but no trip to America would be complete without a little bit of this. That's all I've got for today. Go away now.
Shut up! Will you shut up? Shut up! Shut up!
Please be sure to subscribe if you're not already. Hit the like button. Let's go.
Yeah, why not? Let's do it. Let's start off with Prey.
So when the trailer dropped, he of course made a video, sight unseen besides the trailer itself, but you know, he's a critical drinker. So he had it rhymes with thinker. So he had a take about it and thought that was something worth sharing. How to spoil a good idea. I don't know how you can really make that judgment without seeing the film, but
he's saying it right there. The girl's there. The main character's there.
True. That's all you need to know, right?
That's how you spoil it.
Like, look, she's up front and center, and then look, Predator's back here in the shadows. So clearly, he's not the important part of this movie.
It's a bait and switch again, just like Thor. Damn it!
Can bait and switch, just like Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Hello there.
But
I would have really loved it if by the last 30 minutes is her hunting the Predator. Like they do the complete role reversal of the original, and it's like the Predator trying to get away from this crazy awesome hunter. Oh my god, I would have loved that now.
But yeah, you look at the tomato meter here. It's a 91% on the critic score, 84% on the audience score, and that's almost certainly including some bad faith reviews.
Can't stop the signal. Can't stop the signal.
Just part of this whole game at this point. Once people's favorite chud creator has decided something is woke, therefore bad, there's going to be some segment of the fans that immediately go, and as soon as they can leave an audience rating, they're going to do it.
And they give it even a month advance. Like this is a month of his audience probably crapping on this movie after he releases that. So they're literally doing their best to try to make the movie fail any way they can, at least from their audience perspective. So they give it a full month so they could go around, talk their crap. Like, it's such bullshit.
Just to be fair, he did see the movie, apparently, and he gave a little bit more of a nuanced take. Prey was not great. Definitely not as bad as the trailer suggests, but overlong and slow, predictable, with cheesy dialogue, heavy-handed pandering to female empowerment, not great acting, and weird attempts to reference the other movies. Better than The Predator, at least. Okay. Notice that he makes one comment about, you know, the positive thing that he thought about it, and then it's just all negative. It's like they just vaguely gesture to the idea of bad storytelling or whatever. Like they don't give any real what's the reason? Why is this bad storytelling? Why is it woke pandering or whatever the hell? But no, they just have to say the buzzwords, the keywords, the audience trigger words.
They probably have this copy and pasted. They could just paste it in and change the title of the movie because it's so, like I said, like you say this about anything technically, you know, like there's nothing here that says this is the Prey movie.
What the pandering to female empowerment mean? Does that mean a woman being capable of things? It's just virtue signaling. Literally means nothing. Not great acting and weird attempts to reference it. There's like one line of dialogue that referenced the original movie. Critical Drinker's role in the right-wing grift is to, quote-unquote, intellectualize bigotry, much like EFAP and a few others who are slightly more adept at hiding the bigotry under a thin layer of pseudo-intellectualism.
He doesn't use the slurs like Geeks and Gamers.
Right. He takes a little bit more care to act like he's actually reviewing the thing rather than just say, woke bad, or whatever. But yeah, it's the same thing. I guess some chuds require a little bit more of an attempt at nuance in order to buy into the, you know, anti-woke grift.
Yeah.
No masterpiece, but surprisingly good.
Okay.
So his tweet, we just looked at it. It said it was not great.
Okay.
Like, what are these? What is your standards here, man? What metrics are you using? Like, it's incomprehensible.
I think
it's not great, but it's surprisingly good. But it's not a masterpiece.
This is like they're literally like, is this populist reviewing? Like, is this like they're just what the hell? It's like after pushback, I was like, actually, it's pretty good. It's like, dude, they have no standards, man. They have no standards.
It's all just about cranking out the content and saying the keywords that need to be, you know, put into the algorithm so that they get the clicks.
Truly, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. And in this case, the one-eyed man happens to be Prey. Yet another entry in the long tragic line of a once awesome franchise. But the difference here is that Prey is a prequel.
A penny saved is a penny earned in Hollywood. You could live free or you could die hard. I hope that's his gimmick, man. Blow me bagpipes!
But it's also hamstrung by poor characterization, weak as fuck dialogue, and a main character that doesn't quite manage to break away from the tropes of modern writing.
Modern writing. It's getting a little sexual with that inflection.
Stars Amber Midthunder as, a female character, I guess.
Parse that out for us, dude. What do you mean by that? What the hell? I guess.
Like, yes, she's clearly a female character. I don't know what the snark is necessary for there.
I guess he guesses. I don't know.
Does he not know what a woman looks like? He's like, I think that's a woman. I don't know.
I guess. I don't know.
Guess.
I stay away from them.
I've never seen one.
Her name is because it's almost never spoken in the film, and she's got so little.
Her name is spoken several times. It's Naru. It's spoken several fucking times, man.
He was too busy yelling at the screen, dude. He couldn't hear.
He spent the first 20 minutes like, are you a man or a woman?
Why aren't you following the men? They're going hunting and we're staying within the tribe. Why is she knocked out?
What is a woman? Yeah, these are the same people that want to ask everybody else that all the time. Yeah, women don't exist in Scotland. Basically, every baby is just like a butt baby. And hey, I'm part Scottish, so I can say that. And that's also why I say it's okay for you to do that accent.
Yeah, you should have told me that earlier, that I had the pass to do the Scotland.
Yeah, you got the Scottish pass, the Scot pass. Okay.
Thank you.
Females. This dog was fucking awesome.
Kind of a Fido Sue, if you know what I mean.
A Fido Sue.
You did everything right.
I was trying to have a sincere, appreciative moment for the movie, and you have to come in there and perp it up. This dog can do everything.
He could hold the axe in his mouth and know exactly where to deliver the axe.
That I genuinely struggle to tell you anything about her. The best I can say is that she's a young Comanche girl living a simple tribal life in early 18th century America. She wants to become a hunter, and she...
Is he reviewing this without actually having seen the movie?
Oh my God, you're so right. He has, yeah, okay.
What he just described is like something that you could just glean that from a review or a review, you know, a synopsis or whatever. Because he started off with, I can't really describe her, but here's the basic description from, you know, the back of the box kind of thing.
Practices every day, much to the disapproval of her family and friends. I mean, as far as I can tell, there doesn't seem to be any specific rule against women hunting. It's just not really the done thing, I guess. Anyway, when one of the tribe gets attacked by a mountain lion, she and her brother head off to kill it. Unfortunately, she fucks up and gets injured, and her brother makes the kill instead. Anyway, she believes that there's more at work here than just a simple lion, and so she heads out into the wilderness to track down what she thinks is a giant bear. Because I guess it's totally fine for her to just leave her tribe for days on end and not do any work. Being part of a hunter-gatherer society is just kind of an optional extra, I guess.
Okay, so she doesn't leave for days on end. You know, it's just that it doesn't show you every time as she goes back home. Disingenuous.
I think he saw the movie. They're just bad at reviewing movies.
Fair. But I mean, like all he's doing is he's just relaying what happens, and he can't even get that right in some examples. Like
by something much more powerful and dangerous. And I have to admit, this is a pretty cool reveal of the Predator, seeing it partially invisible and drenched in animal blood. So anyway, female.
That really got my man meat going. Like.
A character does the smart thing and runs the fuck away, only to bump straight into a hunting party that was sent to look for her, so that the rest of the plot can happen. So she tries to warn them about the Predator, but they're having absolutely none of it because they don't want to listen to a girl. But it's okay anyway, because the Predator...
Yeah, I mean, you'd think he'd be happy with that part. They don't want to listen to a girl, which is the right move.
And for some reason, the action seems to teleport into a devastated World War I battlefield. Like, what the fuck happened here? Was there a nuclear war that I missed?
Dude. This is where the French people were cutting down trees, and it's like dusk, and there's mist. It's called, you know, a setting. Like this is what I got from it, is that the French people were like chopping down trees and shit over here, like they were building a settlement
or
setting it on fire. Yeah, that would make sense as well. You know, just because it doesn't spell it out for you doesn't mean you can't put it together, man. Okay. They set fire to the forest to create ash to uncloak the predator. All right.
Next, the predator shows up and murders everyone, again, and it's up to female character to put on her big girl pants and take it off.
When did we start, and I say we, but when did people start making it about female character? Let's think about this. Terminator, the first Terminator movie, and first Alien, the second Alien, Aliens.
Right.
The plot is essentially exactly the same as this movie. When you strip it down to its bare bones, you've got a whole bunch of, especially in Aliens, for example, you got a bunch of badasses. They all get wiped out throughout the movie to where the only person left is, and Ripley got like 1 5-minute gun lesson in that movie. And that's all the, experience she had.
Yeah.
And then, by the end, she's like mowing down xenomorphs and blowing up the queen and so on. Like, nobody complains about that. In fact, they will hold those types of movies up as the standard for how you do a, female action hero, when there's really no difference in how it's done. In fact, like, this character makes more sense. I'm not shitting on Aliens or anything. I'm just saying comparatively, if we're rationalizing it that way, this character has more experience with fighting, with hunting, with tracking, with setting traps. You know what I mean? And that makes a lot of sense.
I assume everyone in these time periods with like their living conditions, all that, is a badass one way or another, right? Because they got nothing else. They don't got TVs. They don't got anything. So like whenever I watch this, I just think everyone automatically is badass. That their mom, the old lady, is probably a badass. These were tough times.
Right. Yeah, I mean, these people were surviving on the land in the most literal sense, and they were not fucking around when it came to being adept at surviving. Right?
Yeah, and this is home field advantage, like everything. Like there was nothing in here where I was like, it's a movie, guys. Like, it's a movie, and they set everything up perfectly for you to be immersed and buy in what's happening.
Something that kind of popped into mind is that her self-doubt in Prey actually was an advantage compared to the dudes, right? Because like they were just like, whatever. And not only, I'm not saying it was all self-doubt, it was a lot of wisdom and just like being observant about what was going on before, when she knew there was something else out there besides the lion, right? And she was trying to get people to take it seriously and be cautious, and they're like, whatever. But there were a couple of moments where it was like you could tell she was kind of doubting herself, and that allowed her more time to think about a strategy. And rather than just going in gung-ho like all the dudes in the tribe did.
Kind of like Ripley in Aliens, right? Wasn't she the one warning them and all this? And they kept going, they kept going in, and she's like, you got to get him out of there. And then finally she took action and got behind the wheel, decided to get in there, get him out.
The whole thing was her like basically just rolling her eyes at their macho hubris. It's there's functionally no difference in like a narrative sense. And if you have to look at it as male and female, then at least be consistent, critical drinker.
At best, because this whole woke thing is just what they want to complain about, and I don't know why they just don't. It's like, I didn't like the writing, essentially. Like, that's it. It's about writing, and they could say, I thought the writing was bad and all that, but they put it with that politically charged woke label. But you could, like, the arguments isn't why this is woke, why this is woke and Ripley isn't. The argument would be why she's a well-written character versus this one not well-written, but they can't even do that. It goes to woke, so it's ridiculous.
Yeah, because they got to do the buzzwords. They got to hit the trigger words, man, because then they can put them in the algorithm. And you know how I know this? Because I do it. When I put the same words that they use in my and this is just me being full disclosure. The whole point is to try to get in the algorithm, because those are the words that people click on because they want to react and have their biases confirmed by someone who's also super biased and disingenuous. It's just whatever. It's just the vague thing you gesture to whenever you don't like the politics of something, or it isn't focused on a cis hetero white man. Woke has no meaning anymore. Once it left the black community, because it really was specific to the African American community and things like systemic racism, police violence. It became an umbrella term for anything they don't like. let's see what else he's got to say here. I don't know if I can watch a whole bunch more of this, but it does make for some good comedy.
One. Prey is definitely a movie of contrasts, with both good and bad aspects pulling it in different directions. I mean, on the plus side, it's competently directed, with some beautiful landscape shots and striking visual scenes. The towering forests and mountains of North America are a decent substitute for the claustrophobic jungles of the first movie, providing a decent backdrop for the action, although it does kind of contradict the idea that predators show up in hot environments to make the hunt more challenging, but whatever.
When was that established?
It really wasn't. I mean, I can understand. That's basically headcanon, right? Like you see the first two movies,
Yes.
and they're both, you got the jungle, then the concrete jungle, and the jungle's hot, and then the concrete jungle, they were having a heat wave in LA. So, I mean, yeah, you can kind of make that deduction, but it wasn't ever explicitly stated.
But to make the hunt harder?
And maybe they did things differently 300 years ago. The predators.
True. Yeah,
You know what I mean?
they're clearly wearing a different type of mask, right? Yeah.
That, by the way, that was another thing that I loved about it, was like the less advanced technology. Like it's still more advanced than humans at the time, but it's not quite as impressive as the stuff in the later movies.
Did you notice that the Predator would only use, like, I guess the alien version of whatever weapons the others were using, like the species? So like with the trappers, he used a net. He used a net thing, just like they were using a net. When they were shooting arrows at him, he used like the little spike things. So he was trying to play as fair as possible, and I thought that was so badass.
That is an excellent point. I didn't notice that, but this just popped into mind, and holy shit, dude, the Predator uses heat vision. It doesn't make it harder to hunt when it's hot.
Yeah.
It would make it easier because look, they're brighter on his monitor, on his visor now. Like that's no, it doesn't. It's not because it makes it harder. That doesn't make any sense. If anything, it makes it easier. Jesus Christ. If they took time to like think about the things they're saying, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and he's
probably help.
He's not saying, like I said, this guy reeks of, I just copy what I read from other reviews and just put it here. Like it's like nothing there. It's like it's a movie of dueling contrasts, like where one thing's good, one thing's bad. Like I don't like this is just basic shit. Like I think this guy, is a total grifter. Like I don't like
I think so too.
Even if you look at his like recommendations, he's putting classics out there. He's putting like just stuff everyone's already talked about. He doesn't offer anything new to it whatsoever. He's putting like, I recommend The Thing. I recommend Starship Troopers. These movies that have been like, they're so basic. It's like when I go to like people like Your Movie Sucks, Double Toasted, Red Letter Media, and I look at reviews, I like to get recommended new stuff. I like to see new stuff. Like this is what they're there for in a way. Outside of getting, their opinion, for the most part, I'm looking for films that, like new movies that no one talks about, and I want to be introduced to new things. He never does that. He's just super basic Barry, just very basic. I think it's a grift.